the idea that in a church environment that you offer the same benefits, the practical values, the things that churches do together to all of the people. We don't do that. We don't offer Black pastors who are trying to come up the same opportunity to become senior pastors as some of these other guys. We send them to City Union Mission. It's you know what I'm saying. I mean, that's
No, I don't just I can't even begin to but that's not an effect of
that is the
I mean,
best that we have.
it's not the best we have, and
That
so
is
I
those are
would
the
say
lawyer. Those are the people who are middle class, who are the attorneys, who are
yeah,
those are I had a guy who
but
said,
because and I'll
this is what a Black guy said to me. I was when my business started really growing and I started making more and more money, I just couldn't fathom tithing to this church. And
that's
he moved
crazy.
to another church so that he could feel comfortable tithing.
And to me, that's crazy.
That
That's
is the
beyond.
mentality
And
that we
see,
have.
but I think that's beyond. But that's not my. I would say that's not the mentality of, if I will, I say African American men and women I know that either send their kids to suburban schools or predominantly or private schools. That's not the mentality of
I
the
I bet
attorneys
you
that
they
I know.
contribute.
It's,
I bet you they contribute to those schools and make those schools better with
well,
resources that
well,
would be neglected at a school that
well, I,
is not what they want, but could be with their help. They're not
what
serving
I
on the
say,
school board.
I was talking about the church environment, but on the school board. But I don't know. All I'm saying is that's not the mentality of the people that I know. Even the people that went to the Black people that went to Pembroke, and I know that they had a group like and it was a suburban Black group where they got together to support Black people in that community and dealing with issues of being in a suburb. I mean, I know that they were part of various organizations like that were predominantly Black, even though they went to Pembroke. I know that was their mentality, and it's not a mentality of uh, we are leaving our community behind and we don't care. That was I
I'm
never
just
came
saying it's
across
not
that.
a mentality. That is, I would say that's not an intentional mentality. But I would say that there are certain people that, like, I remember, and we'll say this, we're going to have to wrap up too.
Oh,
I got to play. But
okay.
let's talk about Mayor Q, for example. My sister was good friends with her, we're friends with his mom. And so I remember him as a little kid who was there. He went to Barstow, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and graduated from out there. And the contribution that supported his education, just like our thoughts about you was, dude, we don't want you out here running streets with us doing some of this stuff because you were brighter than some of us. And so I think I think those folks like him who went there and got his degree and came back and reinvested in our community. Now I might not agree with everything he does, or all that kind of stuff, but I will always respect the fact that when he had a choice, he came back and he served and contributed whatever value he had
Mm-hmm.
to the community to make it better because he had resources
Mm-hmm.
that more people than the urban city wanted, but chose to come back to the city and begin to reinvest those resources back here. People who I know who they go and get a urban education. They go through shepherd school or whatever the case of the matter is, and then they come back and say, "I'm now teaching stuff over here." That's the person but what I see mostly is when you go there and you get a resource, because the goal was to go there because they have some advantages, then to take those advantages to Mexico and to all these other places, and we see the bottom of your plane flying over to do good things to people who you care about. That is, to me, a slap in the face for the people who built you up to be effective and to grow you.
I think so.